Again, you have to have parent permission. 15 of those hours you drive, or the 45 have to be at night, and then that's when you get your provisional license. So if I put on the board tomorrow or Wednesday, explain to me what a 180-day provisional license is, you can do that. Do you have to have, is it 2 parts to it? A provisional license? That's an easy question, yes or no. Let me say yes.
What'd you say?
A provisional license, is it 2 parts to it?
No.
We gotta know, we gotta guess. Do what?
I have no idea what a provisional license is. That's the.
Okay. When you get your learners, and I know 5 or 6 of you already have it in here, it's a plastic piece of card, right? Alright. When you get through with this class, and you've driven your 45 hours, and you had your learners for 9 months, you're going to take roads, whether you do it private or you do it here at the county. Once you pass that, then you have a license. But you don't go to the DMV to get it. You'll come here. If you do it if you do it through the county, you're going to come over here to school. Go in the office, you'll see Miss Hairston. You'll have some documentation that you passed, and she'll issue you a piece of paper. That piece of paper and your plastic learners that you have right now, that some of you have right now, those two together, that's your license. In other words, you have to fold that paper up and keep that in your little plastic card with your picture on it. That's your license for 6 months or 180 days. That's 6 months. And then you'll be called to juvenile and domestic relations court, and that's when you'll then just have just a plastic driver's license card. That's it. That's what a provisional license is. So it is 2 pieces. It's a little card and a piece of paper. If you do it private, the instructor, however who you go to, they'll issue you that card or that piece of paper. Very simple. That's one reason why when we were out those days snowing, that's the reason that I did those 2 assignments. They were easy. You still had to look in your green book to find them. Hopefully I was getting you acclimated to exactly what you got to do in this process. If we had been here, I'd have probably made it longer and made it 1 assignment. And I could have added, there's more to it that I could have added to that. And you do have to remember, once you go to court, notice right here, see I wasn't lying to you, the judge will give your parents the hard copy of your license. So, you're going to turn the other one in, I'm assuming. When you go to court, don't go in there, you're going to court, dress nice. I'm not saying go run a tux or a ballroom dress or whatever, but dress nicely and be on time. Do what? Yeah. When I got mine, I got my dad somewhere home if I can find it. I already told you that. But your information, your demographics, your name and address and all that was on a little trifold green card. Well, when it was issued, when the judge handed it to me, you go back and sit down, and he said, look at all your information on your little card and make sure everything's right. Well, my legal name is Richard, and they spelled my name R-I-C-H-A-R-T instead of D. So I had to go back. I had to go up to the judge. I was scared to death. And all he did is he took it and he just made a D and initialed it and went on. But I was scared.
That's how they messed up my bank card the other day.
Yeah.
Why do you get the million?
If you have a bank card and you have money and you're doing transactions, when you get a statement, you better look through and make sure that they've taken any money out of your account for somebody else's thing. So, once you go through this process, when you get 21, you're gonna go back to the DMV, and then your license is gonna go from vertical to horizontal, because you will be 21. Then, every 8 years on your birthday, my birthday's next month, that's why I went and just renewed mine. You'll have to go, all you gotta do is go over and, just renew it. If you already got the star, or if they hadn't put something else on there, you can probably do it just online. They'll just use the same old picture, and change your information. But you do not want to let it, like, let's say I didn't get mine renewed, and then I got on into July, and I go, oh my goodness, my license has expired. I have to take the test over. There's a little grace period there, but you wanna always pay attention to it. And now, technology, I guess there's some good in it. I get text messages. They sent me a text, hey, renew your license. I got one 1st of January, and I hadn't done it, and I got one about the 3rd week of January, so that's a pretty good thing. You got a little database to do that. So that worked out well. Alright, so these are some things, since you're under 18, if you have some type of violation, you're gonna go to a improvement plan, and you can see what happens for the second offense. You might lose your privilege to drive. You potentially may get some restrictions if you like work and you really need to work and so forth. You may have to take a ASAP class. It's an improvement, driver improvement. And then under 18, if you get a 3rd one, then they're gonna take your license. You don't have no license. And then after the period is passed that they take it, then you'll have to go through the whole process over again. So it's just not like all of a sudden, oh, the judge give me my license, I'm free now, blah, blah, blah. No. You got a lot of incentives. That's some incentives to drive like you should. Also, cost, other factors that we'll get into later. You fall under the zero tolerance law. And that's what the second bullet talks about there. So if you register .02 or higher, of course if you're .08, then you're legally intoxicated. This is the implied consent law. These two, we'll get more to this one when we get to module 8. Implied consent law, I guess some time ago, before they had the breathalyzer, they had to take you to the hospital and do a blood test to check your alcohol level. So people got to refusing, so they made a law called implied consent, which means when drive on Virginia's roadways, if you're stopped by a police officer and they suspect that you've been drinking and driving, they can ask you to take a field sobriety test. If you refuse, automatic guilt, and you automatically lose your license for 7 days, in addition to what you're already gonna lose. So you're more or less saying, I'm guilty, if you refuse to do the field sobriety test. So there's other things too when we get to alcohol that you feel like if you were out in public intoxication right now at your age, not even driving, if you don't even have a learner's or anything, that can affect your driving privileges too. But there's a whole lot of them we'll get into. If you miss school,